Hey guys, I'm Daniel.
And I'm Matthew.
And we're That Damn Brand.
We're here live. Daniel has come to San Antonio for a visit, so we figured we'd get a high quality podcast out of the
visit.
And came here today bearing a gift, sort of. He brought his Oculus Rift stuffs. And so, can you describe that experience so far?
I think it's been pretty awesome. Unfortunately, we haven't gotten a game running on it yet, but we've gotten a lot. I've experienced a lot of the tech demos that they have on the Oculus Store, and they're really immersive. I was really impressed by the beginning of the Ghost in the Shell one. It has you going through some really high buildings, and just the illusion of you being on the rooftops. There's an illusion of part where you jump down with don't know the chick's name, but the
Major.
the android person. And it's kind of the mind over matter type of thing. You kind of felt you were falling, even though you're not. You're standing up. But the image was cool. I liked it, and I'm really looking forward to playing some games.
Yeah.
That kind of immersion.
You could always enhance the experience by actually falling while you're watching. But yeah, unfortunately, we don't have any of the touch controllers at the moment, so we've just been trying to find games that support the gamepad, and most of those appear to be tech demos or games where you just kind of look around, don't really do too much. The free game that came with Oculus or pre-installed or whatever, Lucky Tales, looks kind of like Conker's Bad for a Day or Banjo-Kazooie or whatever, those kind of like old school Nintendo Rare games. But when we were trying to record the video for it, we couldn't figure out how to make the window bigger. I think we're going to mess with it and figure it out. But yeah, so if you see gameplay footage of that in the future, know that we figured it out. We're going to spend a little more time with that later. We'll probably also have just videos of us walking around like idiots or whatever, wearing the headset. So, do you have anything in particular you want to talk about?
I don't know, just if we get any input. I've been a big fan of VR even before Oculus, like when it was just an idea. I'm a huge, as we both know, I'm a huge gamer, as you are too, and immersion has always been my big thing. The more that I can feel that I'm in the game, the more I will enjoy it. So if there's enough following for me to justify upgrading my PC and such to play games like Serious Sam and stuff, games like Serious Sam that require the stronger graphics card, I'd be willing to do it. The Serious Sam type games where you're shooting people and actually in the middle of the action are the type of games that I've been dreaming about since I was a kid. So that's pretty much just something I want to say. If there's a following for it, I'll take the dive and go into it, and maybe I won't stop at the 7 or the 1070. Maybe at that point, just get the 1080, right?
May as well.
If you're spending $400, why not go all in at that point?
Exactly. Yeah, I plan to upgrade whenever it's feasible as well.
Well, if another good thing about that is if I upgrade, you get my card, so then you would be VR ready.
That's down the line.
Yeah,
it's way down the line. So let's talk about something that I think you said you were going to end up writing a review for, but in the meantime, it's kind of getting a lot of press. So we recently picked up Fortnite by Epic Games. It's currently in early access, and it's originally just had a PvE mode where you kind of group up with 3 other players and fight the environment type of game that there's crafting and harvesting and building, and their weapons that you craft and using materials and whatnot. But they recently added I think they called it a Battle Royale.
Battle Royale, yes.
Yeah, Battle Royale mode. Epic is catching a lot of flack for it because it's basically a ripoff of PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. And I haven't jumped into the Fortnite version yet, but I have played PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, and from what Daniel was saying about the mode, it sounds like an exact rip-off of it, just basically in their engine.
Yes, so I'm the other way around. I haven't played PlayerUnknown, but I have played the Fortnite version. But what I have, the videos that I have seen of PlayerUnknown, and what made me buy PlayerUnknown, which I still haven't played it, was the type of gameplay that is in the Battle Royale Fortnite. And there's no way around it. It's a blatant rip-off of PlayerUnknown with building shit because you can build shit in Fortnite.
It's if PlayerUnknown had buildings, like being able to build your own buildings instead of just going into buildings. Yeah, and so the PlayerUnknown Battleground developer Bluehole actually called out Fortnite and Epic for replicating their quote-unquote game experience. And I thought that was putting it very politely. I mean, I would call the lawyers and be like, yo, and see what they could do. But it just sucks because what they said in the press release is that Bluehole had a relationship with Epic because they licensed the Unreal Engine. Like, that's what PlayerUnknown uses.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a stab in the back.
I don't think you can sue, as your random friend who was watching you play 20XX said. You can't copyright or trademark mechanics. If you could, we'd only have one first-person shooter. We'd only have one platformer. We'd only have one racing game. You know, we would still have all the sports games because they're all different. But other than that, you would. I mean, if you could do that, you wouldn't be able to have the vast variety of the same genre of games that you have right now. Granted, this isn't just a Contra versus what's another, like Metal Slug. They're the same similar game, but I wouldn't call one a blatant rip-off of the other. This is completely a rip-off of PlayerUnknown.
Yeah, it's almost like Fortnite came out and they realized it wasn't selling well, so they're like, well, what game is selling a shit ton right now? PlayerUnknown Battleground. It's like, man, been on the top of Steam for like ever, and they're getting ready to bring it out on Xbox and eventually probably PlayStation. And so they probably were like, well, you know, we worked closely with this guy, let's just rip him off. We're Epic, they're indie, fuck it.
I don't know if giving them the engines, working close with them.
Well, they said in the press release that they had a working relationship or something, so.
I see what you're saying, how, do you know the sales from the comment you made?
PlayerUnknown?
No, not in PlayerUnknown. PlayerUnknown sold 10 million. PlayerUnknown's doing badass.
Yeah, Fortnite sales?
Yeah, Oh, okay, well, I was just wondering if that was just a hypothetical situation that you're saying.
That's just kind of what I was thinking.
Okay.
Yeah. It says Fortnite sells over 500,000 copies in its first day in early access, but, I mean, PlayerUnknown, you said, what, 10 million?
PlayerUnknown 10 million. For an indie game, too.
And that's, like, nowhere close, you know?
Like, I love seeing games like PlayerUnknown, really a fresh concept, be recognized.
Well, my whole thing about this...
I'm talking sales, I'm talking Epic.
Right.
Okay.
My whole thing with this entire issue is that PlayerUnknown itself is a ripoff of the
H1...
Japanese movie called Battle Royale.
Well, actually, it goes further than that. H1Z1. PlayerUnknown kind of rips off H1Z1, and then H1Z1 rips off Battle Royale.
And then Hunger Games ripped off Battle Royale. Battle Royale is a Japanese movie from like 2001 that was so fucking good. It's caused all of these ripoffs. Like, every single one of them can basically be tracked to that. So my thoughts are, if I'm the IP holder of the Battle Royale franchise or movie rights, whatever, I would be like, listen guys, just license it from us. Just license the title. Call it Battle Royale, change some of the stuff. Bam, you're
Maybe
gold.
that's what Epic did.
I mean...
Isn't it called Battle Royale?
Well, that's the name of the mode.
Yeah, the mode. Yeah, just did it.
I mean, hell, maybe they did that just for the name, but...
Yeah.
I mean, they're definitely trying to drum up the player base for their Battle Royale mode in that they're making it free. But I mean, the game itself is going to be free to play next year anyway, so that's early access.
I thought Battle Royale is going free to play on the 26th.
It is.
Before the core, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, before the PvE game or whatever, where you can actually level up your characters and grind.
Which is a great game, by the way.
I'm having a lot of fun with it. I actually just evolved my ninja. She's 2 stars now. Had to unlock the skill on the skill tree.
Did they go up in a rarity or no?
No.
So that you probably have to find the rare cards to be like the ultra badass and then upgrade that.
You have to get a mythic and turn around and do that. But she's definitely stronger than the ones that I have now, every other one. I think she's like in the 40s now.
That's cool.
So Yeah, it's a very fun game. I've taken to going along the outside of the map and building like a bridge all the way around it so that I can find the little caves and stuff, because it turns out iron ore is a really rare thing and you need it to craft like every single weapon pretty much. So I do that to farm it basically on the missions, and then I go and do whatever I'm supposed to do. Anyway, if you haven't played Fortnite, pick it up. It's a lot of fun.
And then you get the free rip-off version.
And you get the cloned version of PlayerUnknown called Battle Royale. Have you heard about the Battlefront 2 leaks? I know you're not really a Star Wars fan or
I haven't.
anything. So the game comes out November 17th of this year, and which is like 2 months from now. And there was just a leak recently, I think it was about a week ago. They leaked a bunch of like the characters and missions and everything that's going to be in it.
I have, but I just didn't care.
Well, yeah, so I was gonna say, I know you're not a Battlefront fan, but I just figured that was kind of important gaming news, because we didn't cover it on the site. I just happened to see it while loading up YouTube. It was like Battlefront 2 leaks. I was like, ooh, interesting. To me, a lot of the stuff was just, they're just waiting to announce it. It's not like you found out anything like, oh my god. Nope, they were just waiting to announce it, so now you know ahead of time.
Fisher?
I mean, it's coming out on PC. There might be a mod. Who knows?
It's the Han Solo version.
People are...
behind the scenes.
Oh, God. Can you imagine if they did VR?
VR hot coffee?
Oh, God. Crazy. Oh, so I saw an ad when I was on Facebook for space roller dice. It's basically some dice that like glow when you roll them or something.
That's cool, but
it does seem pretty cool.
Is that just something you need to advertise though? I think that's something that you would find like at a flea market or something. Like, oh, that's neat, and then like that's something that you would.
It's like $10 for a set of I think it was 9 or something.
That's all I see. You bought them?
No.
Oh.
I thought about it though. I really did, but we don't play enough of like Dungeons and Dragons or anything to make it worth it. And then the other thing is, I saw a video on YouTube talking about Phantasy Star Online 2, not version 2, but Phantasy Star Online 2, which came out in Japan, and I think they brought it out to like South America and some of these other places a few years ago, and they still have not brought it out here in America. Even though there are English translations out there, like they have translated, the fans and that sort of thing have translated roughly 90% of the game, and they still were like not announcing any sort of Western release. So I found a tutorial online on how to set up a Japanese Sega account and download the game and download the English patch and stuff. So I've been spending a little bit of time in PSO2, and I really like it. It reminds me a lot of the Dreamcast version, which I loved. Still one of my favorite games, as I mentioned in I think the first episode. And so I think it's really cool. They added the ability to jump, which is nice.
Yeah.
And then there's different styles of running. Like the one I have is kind of like a hover. Like you can choose to have your character run, or they could just kind of like hover with like jetpack feet.
Does that affect your speed?
I think it's the same.
It's cosmetic.
Right. I just think it looks cool. So.
Like my unicorn in Final Fantasy.
Yeah. Yeah. So PSO2, I don't know. We might try and get you set up with a PSO2 account as well, because I think it'd be cool to play. It's free to play if you can get it to run. So
yeah.
You have to jump through hoops, but it seems like it's worth it so far.
When you were showing me the list of classes, I'm trying to figure out how to go a ranged or a physical combat class.
You can use the same one I did, which is both. Like you start out with, use a bow, and then when they surround you, switch to blades.
I don't like. I'd rather just commit to and excel in that type of damage.
It's all good. I think you can like cross class too. Like you can add skill trees from other classes.
Yeah.
But I mean, not all the game's in English, so I'm still having to figure out what some of the Japanese stuff is. Oh, I posted a thing on the website about Metroid music. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
Did you have a chance to check it out?
I have not.
It's actually really good. If you guys are listening to this, go check out thatdamnbrand.com and find the link to the Metroid music that I posted. I believe it's called The Dark Hunter, and check it out. It's really good. Kind of reminds me of the Megas, but a heavier version of it, which if you haven't heard the Megas, you should check them out. Alright guys, well that's going to do it for this episode of the That Damn Brand podcast. I've been Matthew.
And I've been Daniel.
And we'll catch you guys next time.
Peace.